Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And finally, I'm live, man. Look, first off, I want to apologize to everybody. Man, my laptop tripping. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why, the first time I tried to go live, it just didn't work. My Streamlabs wasn't connecting. So I decided to go live on my phone, man. So I apologize if it looks a little different, but I just wanted to, man, do a little live show, talk to you all about the Saints. Um, Bruh, this game right here was scary. I mean, absolutely scary right here, man. The New Orleans Saints, they got the victory by a score of 34-31. People can call it luck. People can say that, the Saints deserve to lose this game. Actually, I'm one of those people. But at the end of the day, good teams find ways to win. The Saints, they capitalized on a slide missed field goal. I guarantee the Carolina Panthers going to be looking for a new kicker tomorrow. But anyway, the Saints marched down the field and they get the victory, man. I mean, they had a lot of guys that did a lot of good things in this game, man. No doubt about it. Man, you got to give your hats, take your hats off to people like Michael Thomas, catching that clutch pass and down the stretch. Got to give credit to Drew Brees, who completed almost 80% of his passes in this game. You got to give a lot of credit to some of the guys that ran the football really well. Latavius Murray, I mean, this guy was just absolutely just slashing through the Carolina Panthers defense. The first quarter, the Saints came out, man. Them boys came out like a house on fire. I'm not going to lie. I was excited. The first time that the Saints have scored on an opening drive since last year. That is absolutely crazy. Like, they have not scored on a drive since last year. But, that's just the way things are sometimes. But they drove down the field, man. Drew Brees threw a pass, you know what I'm saying, for the touchdown or whatever like that. No, Latavius Murray ran the ball in for a touchdown, to put the Saints up to 7-0. Then the Saints defense stepped up. Then they went back down the field and threw the ball to Traquan Smith. I mean, a Traquan Smith sighting. So I'm pretty sure when I wasn't the only person, when I seen Traquan Smith catch a pass, I was like, man, this might be a big game for the Saints, especially when they went up 14-0. But then the Carolina Panthers, I mean, they just started plugging away, man. They just started chipping away and chipping away. And, I'm going to be honest with you, like the way that they were playing offensively was really starting to annoy me as a fan because they wasn't really doing anything spectacular, man. They were just checking the ball down and checking it down and checking it down and checking it down to Christian McCaffrey, man. And Christian McCaffrey was making things happen. Of course, we seen the big bomb, I think it was like a 50-yard bomb to Curtis Samuel. Of course, a usual suspect getting posterized, P.J. Williams, who I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But this game right here, I'm going to be honest, this is one of the worst defensive games I've seen the Saints play all season long. I mean, the secondary looked suspect. I mean, P.J. Williams just looked god awful, which made Marcus Williams look bad, because the reason why Marcus Williams was getting, hurt and called for pass interference calls because he was trying to make up for the mistakes that P.J. Williams was doing. He was making up for the mistakes that P.J. Williams did, getting smoked, I mean, so basically Marcus Williams basically had to step up and grab a guy because rather than let a guy get a touchdown. Man, the Saints did everything they could to lose this game. I'm telling you, like from the penalties, from everything, man, it just gave them boys everything that they had to lose this game. Okay, check this out. Now, I know everybody that's been talking about the referees and stuff like that. Sean Payton did a press conference. He talked about the referees. He said that the refs was bad in this game. He said it wasn't their best outing. Look, I think it's pretty obvious here, and I'm saying this in a win, so nobody can go back on other teams say that the New Orleans Saints fans just do this in a loss. The referees And how they treat the New Orleans Saints in games is just absolutely embarrassing. Straight up, man. Like it's rather the league just ticked off at the fact that the Saints and their fans rattled the cages to a point where they actually had to change the rules. So they just basically call penalties on the Saints at home. Maybe they feel like that's just gonna give them some ratings. Maybe that's giving the media something to talk about. But it's getting absolutely ridiculous. It seems like every single time the Saints play at home, all kind of weird penalties get called, and I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Some of them calls, man, I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. And I think that it's time for them to address it because I think that, man, it's like people look at you like you crazy or something, or they feel like you like a conspiracy theorist. But when you think about it, it's like, do they really have something out for the Saints? Like, do they really have something out for the Saints is what I'm asking. Because it seems like every single time they play at home, the Saints get like double-digit penalties. And I mean, some of the penalties were justified, but some of them, man, make you scratch your head. I don't know, man. It just seemed like the New Orleans Saints and the fan base, the referees and the NFL got something out for them. It just seems that way. But the Saints end up getting this victory 34-31. I'm happy, man. I'm happy about it. I'm excited that the Saints got the victory. I'm kind of ticked off at some of the penalties that were called. I think that it was just ridiculous the way that the referees just called this game, and it almost could have cost the Saints. And I feel like the Saints tried to weather the storm, but at the end of the day, these referees are ridiculous, man. I'm pulling up the stats right now. I'm trying to get the stats going. Drew Brees, 30 of 39 for 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. You had Latavius Murray, 7 carries for 64 yards, which he did most of that in the first half because, you know, like I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with Sean Payton. I don't know if he popped a molly in the locker room or something like that. And it just messed with his play calling in the second half. But the second half play calling was awful. It was awful, man. That play calling was bad. I'm talking about every time, man, he was trying to throw the ball. He was trying to throw the ball down the field. Every play, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. My question was, Latavius Murray, this is no lie, folks. Latavius Murray averaged 9.1 yards a carry in this game. 9 yards. He averaged 9 yards. And the Saints still didn't use this dude. I mean, I don't understand it, man. Why does Sean Payton don't like to run the football? Why don't he run the football? When you are running the ball really well, most teams stick with it. Not him. I mean, on a third, what was like 3rd and 1, he gonna call a wide receiver screen to Taysom Hill? Like, come on, bro. Like, before that, Latavius Murray got about 7 yards on the rush. What is you doing? Like, what is you doing, Sean? It is just absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, the way that this guy won't run the football. I mean, you had guys that was running the football really well. Alvin Kamara in the first half, he looked awful. You know what I'm saying? He did. You know, he had a lot of people questioning. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and on Facebook saying what happened to Kamara. And then all of a sudden, Sean was like, okay, we're going to use him. We're going to use him in the second half. That's what he told Tracy Wilson, the sideline reporter. And I'm like, but why, you know what I'm saying, you stop just using Latavius Murray? I mean, if he was had the hot hand, go ahead with it, man. I just don't get it. I mean, all those passing plays, and I mean, you wasn't fooling nobody. Only 2 people gonna get the ball, people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been saying on the last podcast. Only 2 people are going to get the football. It's rather it's going to be Jared Cook or it's going to be Michael Thomas at the wide receiver position. That's it. I mean, Traquan Smith, come on, bro. Like, he got the ball, you know what I'm saying, to score a touchdown. Bravo, hooray for him. But at the end of the day, we all know it's going to be about 3 people that get this football. Hogan ain't fooling nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like none of them guys that's out there running around aimlessly not gonna get the football. So why are you out here trying to make people believe that you about to throw the ball to Hogan? Or you about to throw the ball to Traquan Smith? Very unlikely. So I'm like, run the football, man. Not only were you not running the football, you know what I'm saying, the second half, when you got a lead, you got a touchdown lead in the fourth quarter, yet you still not trying to run the football. Still. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point. When you got a lead, you run a football to milk the clock. If you throw the ball and it's incomplete, it stops the clock. It plays into the defense hands. What are you doing? And you would think that I'm making this rant like the Saints lost, but they didn't. And this is a problem that I have, man. People cheering and saying hooray and all that kind of stuff because they won the game. That's cool. But, man, this stuff is going to affect them down the line. It's going to affect them down the line. And I don't want, it'll be awful for the Saints to get a number 1 or a number 2 seed and end up losing because of these crazy, ridiculous plays because you want to throw the football all over the place like it's 2012. You got Jimmy Graham and Darren Sproles and all them cats still playing. Run the football. It was pretty obvious that you were getting penetration. You know what I'm saying? Your offensive line was setting the tone. Run the football. That's all I'm saying. Secondary. Oh, my God. P.J. Williams. You cannot tell me there's not another cornerback that can play on the outside not named P.J. Williams. If you don't have another cornerback that can play on the outside other than P.J. Williams, then you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like Marshawn Lattimore is incredibly missed. P.J. Williams is awful. Do you hear me? This guy is awful. On the outside, awful. Man, I'm talking about this man just gets smoked like brisket, burnt like a biscuit almost every play. Every single play, this guy gets posterized. And if it wasn't for some of these other guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson or Marcus Williams, P.J. Williams, this is no lie, folks. P.J. Williams has accounted for 162 receiving yards collectively by the Carolina Panthers team. He accounted for. These guys put up those type of yards while he was guarding them. This guy's pathetic, man. I'm sorry. Like, look, it is what it is. This guy's pathetic on the outside. And look, I understand that the Saints, they got Lattimore and he hurt. But you can't tell me this not the best. This the best you can put out there? This is the best you can put out there. If that's the best you put out there, them boys in trouble. Because I'm telling you, man, teams are going to realize, and they're like, even when this guy goes back to his slot position, they're going to try to put him in position for them to make plays on him. This is ridiculous, man. Like, for real. Like, that was just sad. Worst performance I've seen out of New Orleans Saints all season long. The run defense was really good today. I thought that the running defense was really good. You're not going to stop Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that's just what it is. It's like trying to stop Alvin Kamara. It's hard to do, man. You're not going to stop that dude. That boy can play. So I know he was going to put up some yards. So 64 yards by Christian McCaffrey, pretty good. Okay, so I look, Malcolm Brown, David Onyemata, who I thought played really well. Man, they got penetration, man. They were stopping the run. So I got mad respect for that. The linebackers, I think they did a good job. I mean, Demario Davis was all over the field. Kiko Alonso, he did an outstanding job too. What I thought that the Saints should have done, I think they should have pressured Kyle Allen a little bit more. I think that he had an issue every time the Saints blitzed. And, I think that when they did blitz him, like he was hurry up and trying to get the ball out of his hands, I think you should have put a spy on Christian McCaffrey and should have had pinned your ears back and tried to blitz this dude every chance that you got. But that's what I thought about the game, man. You got Michael Thomas had 10 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. He goes over 100 catches. Congratulations to him. He's doing an outstanding job, which I feel like he should be leading the Pro Bowl votes. I thought that it was funny that Amari Cooper had more Pro Bowl votes than Michael Thomas. Amari Cooper didn't even have a catch today. Got shut down by Stephon Gilmore. Embarrassing. But the New Orleans Saints did get the win. Now we're looking forward to Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, when they take on the Atlanta Falcons. I see people going back and forth, talking about the Atlanta Falcons, talking about, rising up and all that kind of stuff. They got the L today. They lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now they want to come up in here and want to talk noise, man. Whatever, man. Look, I'll talk about that game as we get close. So right now, you all can always donate through Streamlab if you want to. Once again, not Streamlab, but Super Chats if you want to. Thank you all very much for checking out this video. I had to get that rant off my chest. I'm sorry, man. I'm fired up. I know the Saints won today, but, man, it felt like a loss to me. I'm sorry. It felt like a loss. Young Nola said, yo, what's going on, Young Nola? Who That For Life, a.k.a. Pennywise, says it's a new account. So, Pennywise, shouts out to you. Who That For Life. Jonathan O'Neill said, who that? You only live once. Cruising Vacations. That's an interesting name right there. Hi, who that? Young Nola say you're the first one. You always seem to be the first one, Young Nola. Dalton Smith, who that nation? Who that from Montreal, man? Shouts out to you, man. I wish I could speak some French to you, but I can't. I don't know no French. Bonjour, that's all I know. Jerry Port says, whoo, I know that's right, man. That was a close game. Got my boy Archangel, the Atlanta Falcon fan, always showing up during hate week. It will be on and popping this Thursday, Diary of an Angry Bird. Yeah, man. Going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be one of those games kind of similar to the 49ers and Seahawks game on Monday night. We were on the other live. Tyra, I know. I apologize for that. I thought I was be able to go live using my computer, but I get my internet connection is really kind of jacked up right now. Spectrum out here in South Carolina is horrible. Congrats, Thomas has 104 catches. Yeah, that boy's a beast. Pennywise still saying, look, man, y'all follow Pennywise, Who That For Life. Telling everybody it's the new account. Falcanes next, of course. There's another live. Yeah, there's another live. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But this is the live stream that everybody should be on. We ready for some Ain't Gumbo. All right. TJ. Breeze went GOAT mode once again. Who that, TJ? Like you said, it was going to be an ugly game, but they both were fighting for something. So I'm not surprised by the end. You see who wants it more, and I'm glad it is a 24-hour rule now in effect. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with the whole 24-hour rule and all that kind of stuff there. You talk about who wants it more chosen, but at the end of the day, man, we got to call it for what it is. The Saints lucked up and got this W. It's not every day that a kicker gonna miss a field goal that's closer than an extra point. So they lucked up and got this victory, man, no doubt about it. But my whole argument is this game shouldn't even been this close. Shouldn't even been this close. Who that says y'all gonna lose? Talking about the Falcons. Once again, I'll talk about that game later. Jared Cook and Latavius Murray is a beast. I wish AK would get more involved in the offense, but it's okay. PJ is trash. We need Marshawn back as soon as possible. Wyatt, you are absolutely right. Jared Cook act a fool today. Eric Reed embarrassed Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Like he made Kaepernick look bad. You know what I'm saying? Because Eric Reed was out there getting smoked roasted and toasted all game long. I'm talking about they were picking on that boy. He was the P.J. Williams of the Carolina Panthers, man. That's what he was right there. I'm pretty sure Colin Kaepernick turned the TV off watching that boy performance today. That was embarrassing. We definitely need Marshawn Lattimore back, though. P.J. Williams, man, man, awful. Just absolutely awful. We sweeping y'all ASSs this year. I doubt that. The Falcon streak was a big fat fluke. I don't know about being no fluke, man. You don't beat nobody down like that and be no fluke. But I do think that the Saints contribute to that loss. But they're gonna have them boys undivided attention. This is the Falcon Super Bowl right here. I'm telling you, man. So the Saints better come with it, man. I mean, you got the number 2 seed right now. You can't afford to slip up. So you got to come with it. Let's see. What a pigeon doing in a Eagles group. Do you think there will be a running back committee between Murray and Kamara? Man, Kevin, I hope so. I hope so, Kevin, because they need one. I don't know why, once again, Sean Payton don't want to run the football. I just don't get it. I don't know why he want to air the ball out all over the place. Man, just run the football. Just run it. Like, you got to lead. Just run the football. It wasn't like you was getting stopped. Run the football. You was really like 9 yards average for Latavius Murray, 4.9 for Alvin Kamara. Come on, man. These dudes ran the ball 18 times. 18. And threw the ball 39 times. Bruh, why? That's all I want to know. Why? Why? I just don't get it. That is not balanced at all. Not balanced whatsoever. And I don't want to hear the fact, they were throwing the ball, man, because they was down in the game. They had to. Nah, bro. The Saints led majority of this game. They led the majority of this game, and they still come away with Drew Brees throwing the ball 39 times. Bro, I just don't get it. I just don't. We need to draft a wide receiver. Ted Ginn out of there next year. Yeah, Ted Ginn can't catch a cold in 40 below zero. That man can't catch a cold where, you know what I'm saying? That man can't catch nothing. You know what I'm saying? He can't catch a wave with a surfboard. That man was out there. That man had 2 opportunities to catch a ball for a touchdown, okay? Or one of them, I give him that one may have put you down at about the 5-yard line. Butterfingers for real, man. Now that next catch by Dante Jackson, that was pass interference on him. They didn't call that. But man, Ted again, bruh, that man can't catch. P.J. Williams is trash. Marcus Williams didn't have his best game either. For that exact reason you just said, P.J. is terrible. Marcus Williams can't play 2 positions. Wyatt, that's exactly right. Look, I don't want nobody saying, oh, man, what happened to Marcus Williams? He was supposed to be one of the best. He was ranked the best. This won this game. Man, he was out there because we had to make up for what P.J. Williams was doing. P.J. Williams played so bad, he made everybody in the secondary look bad. Like, for real. That's what it was. He made everybody in the secondary look bad because they were trying to give him safety help over the top. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? That's why they were playing a lot of cover 2. If you notice, the same playing a lot of cover 2. That's because they knew P.J. Williams was about to get roasted and toasted, and they needed somebody in the back end. But when you're out here trying to make sure that the tight end can't get his catches, of course you have to spot a tight end and you got to look out for P.J. Williams. Terrible. Archangel, y'all ain't ready for this smoke on Thanksgiving. We finna play ticked off. Oh, man. It seems like a lot of people want to talk about the Falcons, so I'll give the Falcons a couple minutes of my time. The Falcons, man, y'all can talk all that noise all y'all want to. Y'all can talk about their win. But at the end of the day, y'all not making the playoffs. It's not going to benefit y'all none. Y'all can talk about bragging rights all day. But the Saints are full speed ahead to the playoffs, and y'all are not. Okay? Nobody ain't checking for no Atlanta Falcons. The only reason why the Atlanta Falcons are relevant at all has been because of Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. That's the reason why. Nobody has been asking for no Falcons. That's the only way y'all really play on prime time, when y'all playing the Saints. Anytime somebody want to talk about y'all playing the Saints. If anybody want to analyze or break down y'all games, it's because y'all playing against the Saints. Y'all have not done absolutely nothing except be an embarrassment to the NFC South. You lost today, and in my opinion, you're going to lose on Thursday. How many points? I'll let y'all know on that prediction show. Them penalties have to stop. Absolutely. Too many holding, too many illegal hands to the face. They need to clean this up, man. They need to clean it up. They got something against us. Yeah, they definitely do. The referees got something against us. I'm sorry. Look, I'm saying this in the Saints win. It just something about it. Matty will be melted ice. Matty Ice played like trash today. I don't even think he threw a touchdown. Threw the ball before 40 some odd times and still couldn't get in the end zone. Old man Drew days a number. You mean the old man Drew that threw 3 touchdowns today? And how many touchdowns did Matt Ryan throw again? 0. I'm so disappointed. Why do we struggle against the worst teams? Carolina Panthers, will slow your roll there, Tier Solutions. Carolina Panthers are not a bad football team, okay? They are not a bad football team. Not a surprise that the Saints struggle against them. It's a divisional game. Come on, man. We think that the Saints gonna go out here and put 50 points up on somebody that knows them, that's familiar with the team, play them twice a year, understands the tendencies. Come on, man. Stop it. They're not a bad football team. I respect the heck out of Carolina. I think the Carolina Panthers are really a decent team. You know what I'm saying? I just think that they got a young quarterback who has to go through some growing pains in order for them to get better. What is wrong with our defense? The defense just wasn't on today. They looked like a championship defense early in the season, and now they can't stop giving up plays. I find that weird, though, because isn't it weird that the defense was playing lights out for 5 weeks when Drew Brees was gone? And now it seems like since Drew Brees is back, it's like they went back to being what they used to be. It's just kind of weird. You would think that because the defense was so lights out and them boys was just in absolute beast mode, you would think that would carry on and the Saints would really be stopping teams. But that hasn't been the case, which is weird, man. Which is absolutely weird. NFL needs to hold a meeting with their, but Kamara is a mug. Yeah, your boy Beast. Reps out to get us, and it's obvious at this point. It definitely is, man. It got to a point, man, I got so frustrated, man, I walked out the room, man. I think it was the play where they kicked the field goal. I think Sly kicked the field goal and they missed, and it looked like they threw a flag. I'm like, if this on the Saints, if this on the Saints, I'm out of here. I'm like, I'm just going to cut it off. That's the point I was at. I was just so frustrated. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous, man. It just seems like to me, now it seems like they're just doing these penalties just to get a rise out the New Orleans Saints fans in the Superdome. That's what it seemed like. Because it seems like it's always going to be a topic of conversation. It's like they really just doing it now to tick off the New Orleans Saints fan base. That's what it looks like to me, because we all know that the NFLs are suckers. We know they're suckers for some ratings and some attention and some press clippings. And wouldn't be far-fetched to think that they just be doing this just because they know it's going to get a rise out of the fans, and it's also going to get some attention, from different outlets. Ted Ginn is a liability at this point, and not having a number 2 receiver is killing us. It's not killing us now, but it's going to kill us down the line. Too many calls that were blown, mental mistakes. Drew Arm is portraying him. Yeah, man, he had a couple lame ducks out there, but I ain't going to lie. He got that ball to Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn should have caught that ball. They had another play on the neck drive. I don't know what was going on with that. Drew Brees, Drew Brees, he let that ball drop about 10 yards behind, Ted Ginn. So, yeah, his arm strength is really diminished. He may not want to admit it. The Saints may not want to admit it, but deep down inside, in the back of people's heads, they watching this. The refs are absolute garbage. I have no idea what they did, what we did to them to always go against us. Oh man, you know what it is. It's the NFC Championship game. I really believe, especially after this game, that the refs have something against us. I actually do. I actually do think they have something against us. And like I said, it's looking obvious. Some calls were BS, like that PI. Um, Nah, I don't want to say that. I mean, if you talking about the C.J. Gardner Johnson play, I call a spade a spade. That was pass interference. But I do think that the offensive pass interference call on Jared Cook was some BS. I think two calls. I think the call against Jared Cook should have been reversed. But I think it was pass interference on C.J. Gardner Johnson. I'm not even going. He did grab right. He did grab Jerry's right. I ain't gonna lie about that. Why did the Saints get all those hands to the face calls? Help me understand this. I mean, they only had one today, and that was on Trey Hendrickson. But I don't know. It seems like they just looking real close. They're looking real close at the Saints. I mean, I'll be seeing hands in the face in Patriot games, and I don't know how many I see it in a Patriot Cowboy game. They weren't getting called, but it seems like the Saints always get those hands to the face penalties called. Is it because the Saints are suing the league for the Rams game? Maybe. We serious need Emmanuel Butler to come up before the playoff. TJ Latavia is doing his thing. Emmanuel Butler ain't gonna do much of anything at all, man. At this point, look, man. I said this on a podcast a couple of days ago, King Arthur. I think the Saints are doing the right thing by keeping this man on the bench, giving him like a red shirt year. Next year, I feel like he will have developed into being a quality receiver for the Saints. So I'm not mad at that. You got Kirkwood coming back. That's going to be a plus. I don't know if he's going to play in Thursday game. Probably not. You're probably going to see him probably against the 49ers. Marshawn Lattimore, I don't think he's going to play in the Thursday game either. Probably going to see him against the 49ers. But the Saints, they just need to step it up. They just need to step it up. And they need to call some plays, man, for some of these young cats. I think that Sean Payton can scheme these guys open. I just don't know why. I was watching this play. He had Alvin Kamara and he had Michael Thomas on one side. No, he had Michael Thomas, Jared Cook, and Alvin Kamara all on one side. And he had like Traquan Smith and Hogan on the other side. I'm like, nowhere in the world nobody gonna believe that you about to pass this ball. No Traquan Smith or no Hogan. It ain't happening, okay? Nobody believing what you selling. But at the end of the day, man, I don't think Emmanuel Butler gonna do anything, King Arthur. And Latavius was doing this thing. I wish the Saints would have utilized him in the second half. Don't know why. He was hot in the first half. I even seen a couple plays where I feel like he was gonna go yard with that. Let's see. I'm nervous. Armstead is down. Yeah, I'm nervous too, man. Teron Armstead going down. But I hate to say it, man. I mean, how many times have we seen this? Teron Armstead is guaranteed to miss multiple games each season. He's a good offensive tackle, probably one of the best in the league, but he can't stay healthy. It's the same old song and dance with him. And, it's unfortunate. I mean, that's just the way that it goes sometimes. But at this point, man, are you surprised? I mean, he missed games like every year. And they always be like late games, like towards the end of the season. Murray is better than Kamara. Come on, man, stop it. No, he's not. Murray is a good running back, good quality running back. Kamara can do a little bit more than what he can. Running in between the tackles, Latavius Murray probably is a little better than Kamara, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? They both play on the same team, so the Saints benefit from each one of them. I just want them both to be successful. And I want Sean Payton to run the football. Shoot. Sean Payton be tripping sometime. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, he tripping. Don't want to run the football. That's humble pie is yours to eat. I think Payton just don't like Murray, either him or Breeze. I don't know if they don't like Murray, man, but at the end of the day, Murray doing his thing. And Murray is going to be one of the reasons why you end up in that Super Bowl because you got to be able to run the football. Okay, ain't nobody trying to throw the ball all over the place. You know, like stopping the clock when you got a 7-point lead, run the football. Teams do it all the time. But I don't understand it. I don't get it. I just don't get why he just don't want to run the football. I've been saying this all season. Peyton is the reason for the offensive struggles. It's a combination of things, all right? It's a combination. Number one, I'm going to keep on saying this. This is about to be a broken record. They ain't running the football enough. 18 rushes in this game, okay? Keep in mind that the Saints had double-digit leads throughout this game. Now, if you have a double-digit lead, you would think that you'll try to run the football to try to milk the clock. This game was running way too long. And honestly, because you weren't running the football, you put this team back into the game. So not running the football gives the other team opportunity, if they're down, to try to get back on the field. When you throw the football, it stops the clock. 39 times the Saints threw this football. 18 times they rushed the ball. That is not balance. That is not balance at all. So first thing they need to do is run the football. The second thing they need to do is stop making their offense so one-dimensional, okay? Dinking and dunking, nickel and diamond, penny and quartering down the field ain't going to cut it, okay? And I can kind of see why they're not throwing the ball down the field, because if Ted Ginn Jr. is your answer, then you need to ask another question, because he's not catching the ball at all. What the Saints need to do in the offseason, they need to get themselves another deep threat. My personal opinion, I think they're just going to be Drew Brees' last season. If the Saints end up winning it all, he might come back, but they need another deep threat, okay? And I think the Saints need to go out here and try to find one, because Ted Ginn ain't the answer. It's rather that or try to get a guy in the draft or something like that, or try to develop Devontae, you know what I'm saying, Devontae Harris. That is my solution. Okay, maybe he can be the deep threat or something like that. But it's just so one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Like he just I don't know, just the same usual suspects. Like, get some of these young guys involved. Like, get some of these young guys involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hogans. I mean, this guy been playing multiple weeks. Traquan Smith, like, give him a position. Like, come on, man. Traquan Smith, like, he got a little speed. Why he not running the street route? You know, he seems like he pretty fast. I mean, I don't get it. I've been saying all season, yeah. Kelvin, I live in Phoenix. Also, I'm from the Lower Ninth Ward. Man, what's going on? Yeah, man, Lower Ninth Ward. Shouts out to everybody from the Lower Ninth Ward. Well, I was born and raised in the Ninth Ward, not the Lower Nine, but the Ninth Ward. So, shouts out to everybody from the Lower Nine. I gotta say, rest in peace, my Uncle Tone, who lived on Andrew Street. Andrew and Galvez. Yes, right, man. Andrew Street and Galvez, man. Right on that corner right there, man. So rest in peace to my Uncle Tone. You know, spent a lot of time in the Lower Nine. At the King's table, yes, of course. Let's see. This game was crazy. Yeah, it was. Stressful. It definitely was, Jasmine. Yes, it was. And it didn't even have to be. Well, I see a lot of people going in on it, like Falcon. Archangel, boy, well, I tell you, boy, you are trolling tonight, my friend. And much love to you, boy, but you on your troll job for real, boy. You got them worked up in the chat. Hey, TJ, Skyzilla, man, Archangel is he's a friend to the show, man, but he's a Falcon fan. I'm not one of them people that I will just block everybody, you know what I'm saying, who come in, who fans of other teams. That's not me, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to come up in here and talk noise, that's fine by me. The only thing I just say is, man, just keep in mind, you know, I got younger viewers and stuff like that who look at this show and stuff like that, man. And, you know, I'm not going to read any of your, you know what I'm saying, any of the negative stuff. But not on this stream in particular, but when I do like regular streams, you can actually see, your comments. So the only thing I ask is, don't use the F bombs and stuff like that. Man, I got 8 and 9-year-old kids and stuff like that that check out this podcast, and I just want to be respectful to them, man. So I just say, man, keep your strong language to a minimum. I ain't got no problem with nobody coming in the group. Whether you're a Falcon fan, Panther fan, Buccaneer fan, Cowboy fan, Patriot fan, I don't care, man. It's all love here. We can talk noise together, and I appreciate you all for checking it out. I agree. We must get those run attempts up into the high 20s. Yeah, Peyton was doing a good job of those run attempts over the last 2 years. Murray at 9.1, Kamara at 4.9. We need high 20s. Yeah, we need high 20s, man. They just need to run the football, be patient, man. Like this game right here was a really successful game running. But sometimes they don't have those really good rushing games. And because of that, Sean Payton to get all frustrated and want to throw the ball all around the place, like he Kurt Warner in arena football. Man, man, you got to run the football. You got to be patient. You got to be patient. That eventually over the course of time, over 4 quarters of football, your running backs are going to wear down the defense, and they're going to get to a point where they're going to get tired of trying to wrap these guys up. Let's see. Lord have mercy, I joined as soon as P.J. Williams is mentioned. Yeah, Diggy Turtle. Yeah, I went on a rant about P.J. Williams, man. I mean, honestly, I ain't even got the energy no more to be talking about no P.J. Williams. I don't, man. Like for real. Like my blood sugar is kind of high these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I went to the hospital, they told me I was a pre-diabetic, and what I'm saying, I'm trying to control. My blood pressure, my blood sugar and stuff like that. They say blood sugar, one thing you have to look out for is stress. And can't nobody stress you out than watching P.J. Williams on the outside. But so I'm not going to talk about that, man. So I'm trying to get my blood sugar right and kind of get my woosah on. So if you want to hit a rant about P.J. Williams, go ahead and back it up. I can't mention him no more. My head hurt. Jared Cook finally using the size to make plays. I'm happy for him, but Ted again needs to learn how to catch again. If you 35 years old, been in the league about 12, 13 years and still haven't learned how to catch, it's not going to happen because he missed some big plays because of his poor ball catching. Yeah, man, he ain't gonna learn it, man. He just a guy with elite speed and look. If we're playing Madden, his speed would be on 98 and his catching would be on 34. Jared Cook, I think that just goes to him and Drew Brees getting on the same page with the chemistry and stuff like that. So Jared Cook really stepped up, and he really embarrassed Eric Reed in this game. Let's see. Don't go back and forth with a team who ain't even got a winning record. He just looking for attention as usual. I guess that's going toward the Falcon fan. Yes, he played nickel, not corner. It ain't PJ fault. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. It is your fault. I'm sorry. I apologize, man. Look, if you get born outside, you know what I'm saying, it is your fault you get roasted and toasted. Look, I'm tired of making excuses for this dude. Moving on. Like I said, I can't mention this, but everybody will talk about PJ. I can't. I just can't. Let's see. And we will win the Super Bowl in 2020, I hope. I see a lot of 28-3. Now we're talking about the Falcons again. If we don't go to Super Bowl at least, that means we don't give up a 28-3 point lead to the Super Bowl. I understand, defense got to clean up. Man, we're going to the Super Bowl. We will beat you in a heartbreaker. I'm talking about the Falcons. Cook looked amazing today. Yeah, he did. What he had, like 100 yards or something like that, exactly, if I'm not mistaken. 49ers defense looking scary right now. Can somebody give me the score of the 49ers and Packers game? We saw that the Aints did the last in the last playoff game. Yeah, they got screwed. And, they got screwed and didn't go to the Super Bowl. So it's not what they did; it's what the referees did. Archangel, I have to say that you are wrong for that one, bro. Just man, the Falcons are failures, man. Like straight up, Falcons are a bunch of failures. I just call a spade a spade. Did you see Eric Reed get steamrolled? Yeah, I seen it, man. He definitely got steamrolled. I know that made Stephen A. Smith happy. We gonna rename the Falcons Dome. All you gotta do is just take stadium off, and you got the dome, so it don't matter. Because they all Mercedes Benz, right? Murray needs to eat. I absolutely agree. Y'all losing Thursday, so get ready. Man, a lot of people fired up for this Thursday game, huh? 24-hour rule really in effect on here. You rarely see anybody talk about this game today. Seems like everybody talking about this game on Thursday. Breaking news. P.J. Williams was released from the University Medical Center after suffering third-degree burns in his game today. Fortunately, Drew Brees was able to put the flames out just in time. Good with Pablo. Yeah, he sure was getting smoked out there, roasted and toasted. I mean, and honestly, roasted and toasted. I mean, it is just in time for Thanksgiving. So I mean, he right on schedule anyway. And honestly, the only turkey that I want on Thanksgiving is the one that's going to be served to me. I don't need to see no turkeys on the field for the Saints. I don't need to see no smoked turkey, P.J. Williams, or anybody else. I just need them to step up and do their thing. Who do you want to win tonight? Because I prefer the Niners because the Packers could win out with a schedule as easy as theirs. Plus, I would prefer not to play in the Snow Bowl in case we don't get the number 1 seed. Look, honestly, I don't care who wins. To be honest with you, number 1, the Saints not going to move from the number 2 spot. This is a battle for the number 1 seed between the Packers and the 49ers. I really don't care. So the Saints don't really benefit at all from this. So I really don't care. I think the Saints can beat either one of these teams. I'm not sold on the Packers. I think that the Packers secondary is suspect. I think that they got a good pass rush, but at the end of the day, I don't fear them at all. I'm not scared of any one of those teams. I think the Saints can be either one of them. And honestly, the way the Saints been playing at home lately, I prefer for them to play on the road because it seems like when they play on the road, they play a lot better. Shoot. Let's see. Kamara is light years better than Latavius. Man, I'm not. Look, man, let's stop it. Let's stop. Let's stop comparing Saints players to Saints players. All right, both of these guys can are beneficial to the success of the team. Okay, if Kamara break off a big run, cool. If Murray breaks off a big run, cool. I'm not comparing who's better, who's worse. I honestly do not care. You know what I'm saying? As long as these guys are running the ball, getting a 5-yard average, and getting into the end zone, I have no problem with that. None whatsoever. Iceman T say, hey, it's me, man. What's going on, Iceman? Hey, y'all check out Iceman's T YouTube channel. A is me, or does it? Alvin and Murray's relationship seem like they not clicking together. Alvin body language hasn't been the same since Ingram left. Haven't seen him and Murray in an interview yet. I mean, look, I don't expect for them to be in an interview. Okay, I think what people are looking for is the same type of camaraderie that Ingram and Kamara had. Those funny interviews and talking to Deion Sanders every week. I mean, they had a special bond, man. Ever since Alvin Kamara got drafted, he looked at him like he was his little brother, took him under his wing. It's a little different, man. Latavius Murray is a good teammate, man, and I got a lot of respect for him. I don't expect for those guys to have interviews and all that kind of stuff together. But then you can tell, like, they got love for each other and stuff like that. Maybe dapping each other up on the sideline, stuff like that, congratulating each other. But, at the end of the day, I mean, they both are it's very critical that both of those guys get success down the stretch. Very critical. I hope that they both get success. I don't care if they go out to eat every day. I don't care if they don't do interviews together. As long as they get into the end zone, I can care less. That's all I care about. I care about these guys being successful. But now it's time for my closing statement, okay? Because I want to look at this 49ers and Packers game and, try to see, what the Saints going to be up against when it comes to the 49ers. And, also want to spend a little time with my family and stuff like that, man. We putting up Christmas tree tonight. I know y'all wondering, like, why am I putting up a Christmas tree so early? But it's because we're going out of town a couple of days, going to Alabama, visit the folks. So we want to have the Christmas tree up by the time we get home. So this is my son's first holiday season, so you definitely want to put that tree up and everything like that. But my closing statement is the New Orleans Saints were lucky to get this victory. There was a lot of mistakes in this game. The Saints almost gave this game to the Carolina Panthers, but good teams find ways to win. I guess that's the most important thing. They find ways to win, and the Saints found a way to win. They capitalized. The Saints drove the ball down the field with clutch catches, clutch runs by some of their elite players. And Drew Brees, he played probably one of his best games all season long. And I was glad to see it. The Saints, the schedule is going to get a little bit more tougher. Now you still got to play the Tennessee Titans, who are a pretty good team. You still got to play the Indianapolis Colts, who are a pretty good team. You got to play the 49ers. The Falcons are going to play this game on Thursday like it's the Super Bowl. So the Saints are really going to have to put forth their best effort, and they got to really make sure that they kind of clamp down on some of these mistakes that they were making. I mean, that's just all there is to it. But I think that they can. Right now, as it stands, if the playoffs was tomorrow, the Saints will be the number 2 seed. They got to continue to win if they are going to try to maintain this level of success, and try to maintain that position as the number 2 seed or the number 1 seed. So I'm excited to know where the Saints are going, and, I look forward to it. But this has been the State of the Saints podcast. If you have not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. Also on Facebook, go to facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. And also on Twitter, man. If you're on Twitter, check out the State of the Saints podcast at SOTS Podcast 8, SOTS Podcast 8 on Twitter. Thank you all for your love and your support. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And like always, all I got to say is, who that? Man, y'all have a good night. And I want to say to each and every one of you, man, show love to everybody. And except for those Falcon fans out there. You can tell I don't know how to go live on my phone because now I don't know how to end it.